Hey guys, the Edge RFC here, and welcome back to some F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. It is time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. Basically, I don't have Monaco. I don't have any footage from Monaco, but nothing happened. Basically, didn't do anything, didn't get any points. So yeah, there's not there, but I say we're not missing anything. So we move on here now into Baku. See, putting the some upgrades on the car, keeping the R&D moving along nicely as we move on to our qualifying lap in the wet. So not ideal. I really struggled around this lap in the wet, and it just didn't go well. Very slow, very sloppy, but yeah, I'm just gonna let it play out for you, and you can see for yourself. Yeah, so that happened. Pole position in the last video in Spain. I did actually qualify last in Monaco and last again there. I was already comfortably last before I just started. Ended up basically playing bumper cars with the walls, and then as you probably saw at the end of the lap there, just sort of giving up and coasting it home because I was already a long way last, and yeah, I'd absolutely messed it up very early on in the lap, and I just couldn't recover it. So yeah, starting from the back of the grid. Yeah, I think that's a bit of an understatement. I don't know. The rain was okay in when we were in Holland. Obviously, I think it actually helped me get a good position. But yeah, I just could not get myself sorted in that qualifying lap, and really struggled. Maybe that's where the downside of having one shot qualifying. It was a bad lap. I paid for it. I could have maybe had better laps and made it, picked it up, but that wasn't the case. So let's just move on into race day. Big dive up the inside. I didn't care. Just wanted some places, and unfortunately that meant just absolutely torpedoing the side of my teammate's car, because why not? I just wanted to make up as many places as I could as quickly as I could, and I made one because I obviously held us both up. Everyone else got ahead of us. You see here another big dive bomb, lots more contact, but another place. I like playing bumper cars around Baku, and if that's how I'm going to get some places back in this race, that's what I'm going to do. see here, looking for another big dive bomb there, but I couldn't quite get an angle on Russell, so I let it go through a little bit, and then just see what I can do here as Aitken takes a big dive up my inside and gets his position back from me that I punted him out the way for in the very first corner of the race. So another big dive bomb, lots more contact, another dirty overtake, but again, at this point I'm not bothered. And again, some more contact, some more very dirty racing. Not actually some more places, because both Kvyat and Ocon held on to their positions. For now, going up here, another big dive bomb, got both of them this time. Actually a lot cleaner. And no contact for once, so that was good. I'd sort of lost my head after the qualifying lap, and then I went straight from the qualifying into the race. Hadn't really calmed down, and I was just I'm just driving for the sake of driving mode, and I think it shows. Pretty careless race, as all I can say. A lot of collisions, a lot of dirty moves, and a lot of carelessness in general, and yeah, it just wasn't a good race for me. After the last one you saw, being such a good race, I then have this here as Kvyat goes back past us on the straight here, and we've got Aitken, is it Aitken joining? No, Lafiti joining the party as well. We managed to hold on around the outside of turn 1 though, and keep them both behind us for now. But then you see here on the start-finish straight on the next lap, Ocon just goes flying past, and I couldn't hold on to that position. It just wasn't my weekend. In previous years on the F1 games, Baku has been an okay track for me. I've normally done relatively decently around it, which is surprising because I do struggle with the tighter tracks. Monaco is a horrendous track for me. Singapore isn't a good track for me. But Baku I normally do okay on, but just not this time. As you see, Aitken comes flying past us now, followed very quickly by Danny Kvyat. So it just wasn't my race. I was losing time. I was slow. I was sloppy, much like the qualifying lap, and it just wasn't good. But in all honesty, I was very tempted just to cut this from the season. But having lost all the pre-race stuff, so practice and qualifying from China, not having anything from Monaco, I couldn't just chuck this race out of the series as well. So I did want to show, but I say even there that not particularly good racing at all. Raikkonen comes flying past me now as well. And Kvyat as well. He overtakes me on the straight, but I'm pitting at this point anyway. But yeah, in all honesty, I think at this point here I was half tempted to just retire the car in the pits. It was going that badly. But we do persevere. We do move on in the race. I say move on. I continue. That's about as good as I can put it. But yeah, we do move on, and we do stay in this race as we move forward a little bit now onto lap number 10. It's the common theme of this start-finish straight being overtaken again. This time Gasly comes flying past us. Just very slow in that straight. I'm assuming that's where all the AI cars were using their overtake mode, and that's why no matter what I did, I just couldn't really hold them off, especially obviously if they had DRS as well. Little kiss on the wall there as we come round into this DRS section, which just gives Gasly a bit more time and freedom to try and get away up the road. But we have the DRS, we have the ERS, and then we hit the wall. I still somehow got in front of him, But I hit the wall, some serious wing damage, and as you see here, only 2 laps from the end of the race. After this one, one lap 11. But some big damage. The orange wing straight off that, and that was fatal, because you see here a lot of understeer trying to come in here, and as we tried to turn here through the castle, bang, and that's race over. Absolutely spun me around. I pulled off to the side and retired the car, because there was just no point in continuing at this point. So yeah, race over. First retirement of the career mode. You see there, not a good weekend for us at all. Jack Aitken down in 19th place. Not helped from me hitting him at the start, admittedly. But yeah, just not a good weekend at all. So you see here, obviously after defeating Latifi in the previous rivalry, we get to pick our new rival. These ones were a lot harder. I went with Lando purely because he was the easiest one there, but I didn't feel confident going up against any of those guys really. Latifi obviously in a worse car, but a car that we are technically competing with. These guys were miles ahead, but because I've had a couple of good results, I feel like that's why they've been thrown in there. So it is what it is, and we now have Lando Norris as a rival from this point forward. So just moving into the Team Acclaim screen, just so we can obviously see everything there. As you see, we do hit Acclaim level 10, which means we get a third sponsor, or a third secondary sponsor, so a fourth sponsor in total, unlocked. So we're just going through that now, getting that sponsorship money in, which is very nice indeed. Just picking through that now to get that. Get that all up and running so we can get the as much money coming in as we possibly can to help develop us, because after performances like that, we need development. And lastly, as always, got to do the activities. Only really room for one on this one here, but we put it on, and that will end our race weekend, and I will be back for Canada.